All right. Welcome, everyone, to episode 2 of the Kota College Football Central Show presented by the Kota Sports Gambling Network. Brand new format today. You've seen us in season 1 and 2 do the same thing over and over again. I'm sure you got sick of it. It was repetitive all the time. We're changing it up completely. Brand new show, brand new format. It's going to be great. I'm super excited for it. My name is Kyle Comas, and joining me, we have the co-host of the Gabacho Baracho Soccer Podcast at the network and an avid Hawkeye fan. We got Mr. Thomas Miller. We got the co-host of the Not Another College Football Podcast, but an avid Michigan State Spartans fan. He's the Beast Pick himself, Mr. Beast Picks, Michigan State Spartans. And Sky Ma, we got the co-host of the Play Me or Fade Me podcast. We got Mr. Action Junkie. Fellas, week 1 is finally here. How are we doing today?
I think the boys are doing pretty good today. I would say everybody's hoping for big things this week. Obviously, you kind of touched on it already. You know, the real big matchup is that Minnesota game. So I'm dying to hear our guy Action Junkies kind of overlook of that game. That's going to be one of our best games the weekend. So,
and it's on Thursday too. So
kick it off right away.
Yep, good day game right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm ready. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Games every day. Pretty solid game Monday. Sunday's got like 5 games. Friday's got a bunch. Thursday's got a really good slate. Saturday, obviously. I'm absolutely stoked. Been waiting forever for this. Just can't wait.
Yep, I couldn't have said it better myself. And it was we've known about this for a while, but it was revealed on Twitter. Me, Beast, and PG are going to be linking up in Kansas City this weekend. We'll have boots on the ground there. We wanted to kind of find like a middle ground between, Beast is in Michigan, PG's in Oklahoma, I'm in Iowa. We wanted to try to find some kind of middle ground, and Kansas City was just the place we found that to be. So we're going to go there. We're going to have a lot of good Kansas City barbecue. We're going to be watching a lot of games, placing a lot of bets, but I'm stoked for that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be some elite content. There's really nothing better than just getting together with the boys and just grind and watching college football. And it's not always easy to find guys that love college football as much as some of the guys at this network. And to get all 3 of us together, we're just football junkies. So it's going to be fun to talk.
Yep. It's going to be a great time.
All kinds of bets and just all kind of. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It's just going to be a great time, great content. I'm excited to be with the boys, man.
Yep. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. But, hey, let's get started. Like I said, we got a brand new show format. I'm excited to introduce that to you guys. But as always, nothing's going to change. Let's start with a trivia question. I didn't get a chance to ask everybody at the network the trivia question like I normally do. So I might ask them after the show and let you guys know how they did. But we'll see how you guys do. This might be a little bit tougher of a trivia question because I kind of found this interesting, but we'll see. So I'm a big stat guy. You guys probably know that. I was looking at like all-time lists, like all-time leaders or lists and stuff like that. I was looking at career rushing touchdowns. So know that the trivia question for this week is on that career rushing touchdown list, one player in the top 10 is from an ACC school. And I'll give you a hint that this player played after the year 2010. So the trivia question for this week is who is the only player from an ACC school in the top 10 for all-time career rushing yards that played after the year 2010? So I will give you guys time to think about that while I do our ad read. The Kota College Football Central Show is sponsored by Better Edge. Better Edge is a social betting marketplace that is legal in 45 different states and operates like a marketplace. So how does operating like a marketplace work? I'll give you an example. Let's use Florida State LSU being played this weekend. One person on the platform likes Florida State money line, places an order on that line for $10. Another person on the platform likes LSU money line, also places the $10 on that line. Boom, you now got an exchange. You're going against a peer rather than against a sports book. That's why it makes it legal in 45 states. And most sports books, you got lines that are juiced on spreads and over-unders. It's not like that on Better Edge. It's minus 100, plus 100. You get a higher payback. Excuse me. They also have several different competitions like Battle Royale, Survivors, Chaser competitions, things that makes it competitive. And the thing that I find really cool about it is also incorporates social media. So if you like a play, you can post it on your like a memo, and people on the timeline can look at what you're playing, maybe fade you to create an order, or they can ride with you as well. Beast, I know you kind of got on Better Edge here in the last couple of months. What's your overall thoughts kind of about the platform?
I mean, you're not going to beat those lines. The classic way we all kind of described it at the network is, you're going to get a couple more points, and there's nothing cooler than putting out a bet and knowing that somebody else is accepting that bet on the other side. You're not really against the sports books necessarily. You're against somebody else. So it's kind of like, I know more than you do in that sense. And I think you can get some really, really good, percentage difference between, what the spread is on Better Edge versus a lot. So there's some real advantages to using Better Edge, and I think it's a must download app, or whether you're using the website. So everybody go and jump on that for sure, and use our promo codes that Kyle will drop for you.
Yes, absolutely. You couldn't have said it better myself. All four of us are big on Better Edge. We love Better Edge. Shout out to the team there. Go to the website, www.betteredge.com. Use promo code BEAST. Use promo code Thomas. Promo code Kyle, promo code PlayMe. Use any of those 4 promo codes. You get $20 added to your account. I mean, it's free money here, people. www.betteredge.com and use promo code Kyle, Beast, Thomas, or PlayMe. You get $20 added to your account. Again, gentlemen, trivia question for this week. All-time career rushing list. One player that played after the year 2010 in an ACC school is on the top 10 for all-time career rushing touchdowns. Who is it? I started with Beast last week. I'm not going to do that to him again. I'll start with Thomas this week. What do you got for this? I knew he wouldn't like that, but I got to start with somebody.
I mean, the way my memory works, like the things I know, but like sometimes players I have no idea. Like, did CJ Spiller play? He played at Clemson, right? So that's not the answer. Since you don't know.
It's not, no, but
now I gotta change my guess. Man, I have no idea. I'm punning. I don't know. No idea.
We'll take CJ Spiller as your guess. How about that? Beast, who do you think it is?
Definitely throwing a little bit of a dart here. But I do recall he had some good years there. I'm going to go Delvin Cook at Florida State.
Okay. Sounds good. And action, who do you think it is?
So clarification here. We're talking single season or career?
Career.
And you said not running back, but rushing touchdowns, correct?
Rushing touchdowns total. Yep.
Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Sounds good. So this player again played for an ACC school past the year 2010. This one kind of surprised me. None of you are right. It is Travis Etienne at Clemson.
That was definitely one of the pondered ones, but for whatever reason, I was like, maybe he didn't get enough touchdowns. I don't know.
Yeah, he actually had 70 touchdowns. He's 6th on the all-time list for touchdowns. So
very impressive.
Mm-hmm. For what it's worth, that's the guy I was thinking of.
I knew it. You were such a sharp.
Yeah, definitely tip of my tongue. I think I just, had kind of like a brain fart, said the wrong name. That was it.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to ask the other people at the network after the show's over and see if even they can answer it. I don't know if that was maybe too tough of a trivia question, but I thought that was kind of interesting. I would have thought Dalvin Cook probably would have been my guess if I would have, or Lamar Jackson would have been my guess. But yeah, Travis Etienne had 70 touchdowns in his career. That's damn impressive.
Should have known that with how well he did for the Jaguars right away.
The second year.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pumbaa likes that shout out. Go Jags.
Yep, shout out Pumbaa at our network. All right. Well, before we dive into week 1 and our new format we're going to be doing, let's just really quick talk about week 0. Anybody maybe have any thoughts? I know there was only 7 games that were played. Just really quick, week 0 recap. Notre Dame in Ireland absolutely destroyed Navy 42-3. Jacksonville State got their first ever win as an FBS team, defeating UTEP 17-14. UMass, maybe they're the team to beat. I don't know. They defeated New Mexico State 41-30. San Diego State in a very close match defeated Ohio 20-13. USC defeated San Diego State 56-28. Louisiana Tech defeated Florida International 22-17, and Vanderbilt defeated Hawaii 35-28. So, Beast, we'll start with you. Any overall thoughts about week 0?
You know, I think there was a lot of thoughts of will USC's defense be able to hold up this year, and they sure as hell didn't do a great job at times in that game, really defending themselves or defending even just San Jose State. I know that they ran away with that game in the second half, and we know that Caleb Williams and that USC offense are electric, but there's something to be said. I mean, they're giving up 28 points to a Mountain West team. I know that we hyped up San Jose State and Shavon Cordero, but there's definitely some flaws on that USC defense. And when we talk about this team as a future CFP potential, that's something that should scare you, because that doesn't happen to teams like Bama, Georgia, hate to say it, but Michigan. They don't give up team. That just doesn't happen. So when you're talking about CFP teams, that scares me.
Yeah, nope, I agree completely. Action, we'll go to you. Any thoughts just overall about week 0?
Yeah, from a gambling perspective, the thing that stood out is you need to forget about last year. We had 4 rematch games in week 0. What Navy kept it within 3 of Notre Dame in 2022 got crushed this year. New Mexico State went into UMass, won last year. This year is an 8-point favorite at home. They get beat outright. And then what was the third game? Vandy beat Hawaii on the road last year by 53. This year they only win by 7. And then you go to Florida International. They won last year. This year they lose to La Tech. So you saw a lot of flip-flops compared to the year prior. And sometimes we need a short memory from a gambling perspective.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Thomas, what about you? Week 0, anything stand out?
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame's performance was pretty impressive. But yeah, I gotta give a shout out to UMass. Just taking a quick glance at their schedule. I mean, the road to 6 wins, it's on. Like, they go at Auburn this week, they're gonna get absolutely smashed. But then they got Miami, Ohio, at Eastern Michigan, New Mexico at home. Arkansas State's kind of a toss-up. They'll lose to Toledo, lose at Penn State, probably lose at Army. But then they got Merrimack. And then November 25th is going to be the big game. Neutral site versus Connecticut. Possibly 6 wins for UMass. It's going to be a huge game. They had my schedule says to be announced on the neutral site, by the way, too. I don't know if they've announced it yet, but
might play like a local high school stadium or something like that.
Yeah.
For me, the thing that really stood out to me is Conference USA is way down this year. Normally they're kind of like a decent group of 5 school. They are way down this year. You know, people are going to say like UMass is back. No, UMass isn't back. New Mexico just sucks. New Mexico State is just a bad football team. I'm going to be avoiding them at all costs from now on. Louisiana Tech also had no reason to barely beat Long Island when Long Island brought back pretty much nobody and didn't use the transfer portal at all. Jacksonville State showed some promise, but they're still in year 1 and they can't make the conference championship this year. I don't see any team besides Liberty or Western Kentucky winning Conference USA. So I think it's going to be a tough year to be a Conference USA school unless you are Liberty or Western Kentucky. But yeah, very, very down this year. Week 0 shows for what the future of the conference is going to be looking like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacksonville State, I mean, I watched a lot of that game. I was on the over. They're like undersized. The announcers kept saying it, but I mean, they're athletic. They're gonna be a solid team. It's too bad that for whatever reason, when they, like when somebody moves up a division, they don't let them compete the first year or whatever for conference championship. But I mean, I think they might be the best team.
It's actually the first couple of years because James Madison can't win the conference championship either.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which, yeah, very dumb. And football, it's only 2 years. I'm pretty sure basketball, it's 4.
Wow. Yeah.
Which
I think you're right on that, Kyle. Yeah.
Which is insane to me. But yeah, I think the NCAA needs to do something different than that. If they're going up to the FBS, they're ready to be up, and that they don't just join the FBS just cause. they're joining the FBS because they think they can compete in the FBS. And if they can compete, reward them for it.
True.
Yeah. But all right, well, enough of that rant. Before we go on, it's hot take season, boys and girls. It is the time that people get their clickbait out, get their honest opinions out, maybe an opinion that people don't necessarily think is going to happen or not, but just let's talk hot take. So I had everyone prepare one take, which again, we'll come back to. That's not going to be forgotten about, but just one hot take for the season. Let's talk about it. Action, you actually went to Twitter for yours. Let's see. Are you going to stick with that one or are you going to go another route? What is your hot take for 2023?
I'm going to stick with mine, even though the Twitter voters didn't think it was that hot of a take. But I believe that no conference will finish with more top 10 teams after the bowl season than the Pac-12. The Big Ten and the SEC might tie them, but no conference will have more than the Pac-12. I just think the top 4 teams of the Pac-12 are really good. I think 3 of those teams end up in the top 10, and I don't think anybody will touch that.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I actually voted on that poll. I don't think that's a hot that is a hot take, and I think there's a good possibility that happens. So very good on you. Thomas, we'll go to you. You had the hottest take of them all last year. Let's see if you stick with kind of that route. What is your hot take for this year?
No, I simmered down a little bit. This one quite a lot actually. And like I did have to kind of adjust it last minute since it's very similar to action actually. What I'm gonna say is a Pac-12 team will make the college football playoff. But I'm gonna add on to it so it's a little bit hotter that it won't be USC. It'll be one of the 3 other ones. It'll be Utah, Washington, or Oregon.
That's hot. That's sizzling.
Yeah, that is pretty hot. Not like Keaton Slovis Heisman hot, but I mean that's still pretty hot. I like it. So I'll go to mine next. So for those of you that know, I'm big on the ACC this year. I like Florida State. I like Clemson a lot. So my hot take is this: the winner of the ACC conference will not only make the college football playoff, but will also make the championship game. That is going to be my hot take. I think Clemson and Florida State are very, very talented. And I think they're the most talented in the conference this year. I think whoever wins between those two, I think they're going to play in the ACC championship, and they obviously play in the regular season. Whoever wins those matchups, they're going to be well prepared for whoever they get thrown in the college football playoff. So I think they're going to surprise some people because everyone's looking at the SECs. They're looking at the Big Tens. They're looking at USC or somebody in the Pac-12. I think the ACC is getting slept on this year, so that's what I'm going to go with. The winner of the ACC is not only making the playoff, but they're also making the national championship game. And that
is a take. Wow. Yeah.
Beast, wrap it up. What is your hot take for this year?
This isn't going to seem all that extremely hot, but to some people it really will be. And I think that we're going to see Caleb Williams not at the Heisman presentation. I don't think he finishes as one of those finalists. I think we see a little bit of, he may still be good, but I think he has a revert kind of, he'll be good, but I don't see him being nearly as good as he was last year. He looked fine last week. This has nothing to do necessarily with last week. This just has to do with, I think there's some regression coming for him. I think there's a lot of other guys that are going to put up really big years. It's not extreme talent is out there with some of these other quarterbacks and running backs out there, but I don't think he is a Heisman finalist. I think that some other guys step up and put up better numbers than him this year. So that's going to be my hot take, is that Caleb Williams takes a little bit of a step back, doesn't finish as a Heisman finalist, might still be a top 10 quarterback, but that doesn't mean Heisman finalist.
Okay. That is a take. And actually, I can see that happening because it seems like whenever you win a Heisman, like early on, you kind of regress to the mean. Like Bryce Young last year won the Heisman, didn't make it. I think like Johnny Manziel won the Heisman, didn't make it, so on and so forth. So,
Yep.
Yeah. It's why there hasn't been a repeat Heisman since Archie Griffin, right, in the 70s. And I think it's because people will start to compare his season this year to last year. I think the way he would win it, they would have to be like undefeated going into the playoff, and he had an amazing year, because it's kind of like when you're watching like an F1 race or something, and the lap you're running, they have like a ghost track of like your fastest lap. His fastest lap was, last season. So I mean, that's kind of a, like a hindrance for a repeat Heisman winner. They can have a really good season. I think Johnny Manziel had a really, really good season the year after he won the Heisman, but I mean, he ended up not winning it a second time in a row. So it's,
Not
it's
sure
tough
any of
for him.
those guys had a defense that gave up 45 points a game.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think he's going to be in a position to throw the ball a lot. And yeah, that's a hot take for me, because if he's not there at the Heisman ceremony, I'll be shocked. Love it.
Yeah. That's why we call them hot takes. So we gotta put something out there. I was holding back everything in me as a Michigan State Spartan to not just drop the Michigan doesn't finish in the CFP, or but that's not that hot when you think about Ohio State, Penn State's coming for them. I also don't want to seem like too much of a homer.
Yeah. No, that all four of those are very, very sizzling takes. I like that a lot, and that's kind of why we do this skit. But yeah, nicely done, gentlemen. Yeah, I know those were all well thought out, but I'm very excited about this. So the past 2 seasons, what we had been doing is we used to do all that analysis beforehand, and then we talked about 10 games. And as fun as that was, because a lot of us like the analysis, we like the stats and so on and so forth, it started to become repetitive, and it started to be a lot of prep on the panelists. So we're going to do something totally different this year, and I'm really, really excited for this. Every week we're going to be doing a snake draft of betting. Now, what that's going to entail is it's a 5-round snake draft. Normally there's going to be 5 guys on, so you're going to get 25 different picks every single week. This week we had some scheduling issues, so we're only going to have 4, but every other week after that, we're going to have 5 guys on. So we're going to have 25 picks that are given to you. Now, they can be any order they want, but every panelist has to have a spread. They have to have a money line. They have to have an over-under. They have to have a team total, and they have to have a first half total. So the spreads, the money lines, and the over-unders, those are all via Better Edge. As we said, we're huge on Better Edge. We're always checking the marketplace and creating orders and so on and so forth. And they've been very, very good to us at the network. So we want to give back to them. So all the spreads, money lines, and over-unders, those are going to be on Better Edge. As far as team totals and first half totals, they don't do that on Better Edge. It's kind of tougher because not a lot of times people on opposite ends of first half totals and team totals. And those are kind of a niche thing for us degenerates that really like to gamble and really like to get our hands in the bets and so on and so forth. Those are going to be on any sportsbook we can find. That's just kind of the way it's going to be with those. But what makes it even more interesting too is every single round, the higher you draft it, the more units you use it on. Everybody that drafts every first round pick is going to be worth 5 units. Second round is going to be worth 4, third round 3, fourth round 2, and fifth round is going to be worth 1 unit. We're going to keep track of our plays, and we're going to see week by week how everybody does, and we'll have kind of a little standings going on. But I know Beast, Thomas, you guys were on the show last year. Just before we even get started, and Action, we'll go to you too. Before we even get started, just overall thoughts on this new idea that we're going to be doing with the snake draft.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it works out. It sounds really fun, and hopefully I'm good at it.
We did a wheel before we got on the show here, and I received the #1 overall pick. So just to let you know, pick is available. I'm willing to deal. So if anybody's interested, $20 and it's all yours.
We're gonna see Action taking some phone calls from the inside the box here, taking a couple deals. He's gonna be step away from the mic for a couple minutes. Guys, I got New England on the phone right now. They're trying to deal my pick.
GM Action Junkie is gonna be all kinds. But so we'll be doing a snake draft here. We're gonna get that started here shortly, and then the flagship upset of the week, lock of the week contest that we did the first 2 weeks, that's not going away. We're going to continue to do that as well. But so the snake draft, again, the order was decided before the show via a wheel. So the order is going to be Action, myself, Thomas, Beast is going to be the order, and then second round will go right back to Thomas, Beast, myself, and Action. And then we'll just keep on going until we have all 20 picks made and everyone's fulfilled their requirements and so on and so forth. But let's waste no more time. Action. You have the number 1 overall pick. Who are you what pick are you taking number 1 overall?
Well, there's a little bit of trash talk via text message earlier this week. So I know, Kyle, you're a great handicapper because you are a guy that has no homerism in him. But for me, I got to go Sky Yuma here. And I'm going to take Minnesota on the money line. It's a simple play, minus 265, but I'm just going to get that one out of the way. I want to be loyal to my Gophers. The 7 scares me, I'll admit it. But yeah, let's just go Minnesota and get it done with.
Okay, sounds good.
Love
And that picture kind of got faded. What was that picture you held up there?
That was just, my rendering of TCF Bank Stadium. I took it off my wall here to show it as a display, and it didn't work, obviously. But yeah, I'll have to put it up on the wall now.
There you go.
Okay, sounds good. I like that. I like that a lot. Action. You got to stick with your guns and be passionate. If you're going to take a pick number 1, it should be a pick you're passionate about. So I love that. Okay, so I'm up next. I'm also going to go the money line route. You can get this on Better Edge at plus 100. I'm taking UTSA money line over Houston. Frank Harris is a dog. It's his final season at UTSA. He's going to give everything he has. I know he lost Zachary Franklin in the offseason to Ole Miss. They still return a lot of really good guys. I think they run in a couple transfers as well. I think Houston's going to be down this year. I think they're going to be a big wide opening for them in the Big 12. So I think they lay an egg here. So I'm going to take UTSA plus 100 on the money line. That is the route I'm going to go. Thomas, you are on the clock.
Yeah. I messed up in preparation with these money lines. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I'm changing my pick.
Ooh, okay.
All right. I'm going to take Tulane money line, minus 245. They're hosting South Alabama. Just in overwhelming type better team matchup. Minus 6.5. That could hit for sure, but the minus 245 for sure. That's the one I'm gonna play for money line, first round.
Okay. Sounds good. That's kind of an interesting play. I know a lot of people are big on that South Alabama defense, and we'll see if Tulane is even half the team they were last year. I mean, they're gonna coast their way into another New Year's Six bowl. But
the experts think they are. I mean, they're ranked 24th right now. So
only Group of 5 team ranked, right? I'm not counting Notre Dame, but
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Beast, let's start with your first round pick. Where are you going to go first round? We have 3 money lines taken, so we'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kyle swooped in from the sky and took UTSA away from me. I wasn't planning on making it my first round pick, but that is a great look, Kyle. But my first round pick here, I'm going to go Purdue and Fresno State under 51.5. You can find that on Better Edge. I just think Purdue, man, losing Aiden O'Connell, leaving Jeff Brom. I'm expecting a ton of early struggles in the season for them. Fresno State, another team. They were a high-powered offense, but that had Jake Haener, Jalen Moreno-Cropper, Nico Remiglio, and their top running back, Jordan Mims. All of those guys I just listed, all gone from Fresno State. I think Purdue wins this game, but it's going to be kind of ugly early season, maybe like a 27-13 type win for the Boilermakers. So to get under 51.5, I just think this is a low-scoring game. Love that line. Like I said, go find that on Better Edge.
Yeah, I love that line too, especially considering like not only has Fresno State lost a lot of people, but Purdue as well. They lost all their top 2 receivers. O'Connell's gone. They brought in Hudson Card, but Hudson Card, I believe, got benched for Ewers. So he's kind of out to prove himself as well. I mean, those are 2 teams that are really starting to rebuild. So I don't think it's going to be very high scoring either. I love that play, Beast.
Definitely, man.
But all right, that'll do it for our first round. Again, all those plays are going to be worth 5 units in the contest. Let's go to our 4 unit plays in the second round, and Beast, you will start off that one.
This one is going to probably be a little bit polarizing because there's going to be a lot of people on the other side. but I'm going to take South Carolina plus 2.5. We got the Battle of the Carolinas here. I'm taking South Carolina plus 2.5. I'm just shocked that we're getting points here. Spencer Rattler and the boys, man, they looked really, really solid at times, and they got hot as that season moved on last year. I understand UNC, Drake May, they're a lot of fun, and I think that they're going to be good this year on offense. But that defense had some issues. Obviously, everybody watched it. I think we got some SEC talent down in South Carolina. I think they're going to be ready to dominate this game. This is going to be a fireworks show. Probably one of your more fun games of the weekend from an offensive perspective. Two really fun quarterbacks, but I think South Carolina has the better defense, and I think they make some stops here. I'm going to take the 2.5 here. I really like that spread. And that one as well.
All right. Nope. I like that. Obviously, everyone's going to be on North Carolina, so that could be good. All right. Sounds good. Good. Two really solid picks there, Beast. Thomas, we're going to go to you now.
All right. So I'm gonna use my spread pick. I'm gonna save one, and I'm gonna use my lock of the week. That way I just don't repeat myself, because I have like 5 spreads that I'm pretty high on. And this one, yeah, I feel very confident about this one. I'm going Rutgers -7 on Sunday afternoon. It's -7 on Better Edge. 11 a.m. kickoff, sorry, on Sunday. They're hosting Northwestern. Northwestern is in shambles. I mean, terrible offseason. You could not have a worse offseason coming off a 1-11 record. Only win against Nebraska, by the way. And I don't think Rutgers is that terrible. So I think this -7, I think they're going to smash it. I think they'll win by like 25 points at least.
Yeah, that game's going to stink.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. Sickos committee type game right there. I mean,
Welcome to the Big Ten on CBS.
Yeah. That's still going to be really weird to me. But okay. Sounds good. Nope, good pick, Thomas. I'm also going to go the over under, and I've contemplated this for my lock of the week. I still haven't fully decided if it's going to be my lock of the week, but I love this over under a lot. I'm taking Old Dominion, Virginia Tech under 50 at -100. These two teams are going to suck this year. Virginia Tech, Grant Wells, their quarterback, he had 9 TDs to 9 INTs last year. I mean, he stinks. Virginia Tech lost their top 2 leading rushers and are starting 3 transfers at wide receiver. Old Dominion, their starting QB and their backup and their third string QB are all gone. They're bringing in a QB from Fordham who only played 1 game last year. The only hope of their offense, Blake Watson, he transferred out, and their backup only had 120 yards this year. This team is going to stink. I'll be surprised if they get to 30 points, I'm being honest with you. I like this pick a lot. I like UTSA a little more, which is why I'm saving it for the second round, but I like Old Dominion, Virginia Tech under 50. So that is where I'm going to go. Action, we're going to go to you now with the back-to-back picks.
Ooh, I'm back-to-back here. This is exciting. Let's go with pick number 4 in round 2, pick number 8 overall. Kyle, you already played this in the money line, but I think that still leaves it open for me on the spread.
Yep.
I'm going to take the Roadrunners, UTSA -1 at Houston. I put a Twitter poll out there this week, and I've never had more votes, more retweets than ever, and more people reach out to me. The fan base of UTSA is so passionate. They're only 200 miles away from Houston. They became a football program in 2011. This is their game of the year, game of the decade, game of the century, you name it. It's the biggest game for this program of all time. Like you said earlier, you have a 7th-year quarterback at UTSA. They have the 13th most experienced team in college football, 16 starters back. Meanwhile, the Cougars only have 5 starters back on offense. They also lost 8 of their 9 top tacklers. So I'm in complete agreement there. So I'm going to go the Roadrunners -1.
Nope, I like that a lot, and you took all the points I already kind of said about it. But yeah, no, that was good all around. I think I haven't had any picks taken from me so far, though. I think that's the nice thing about the snake draft. It's just so diverse that we can take just about anything. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
the same. I made a big board and nobody's nobody's taking anything that I put on there. So
I
Yeah,
like
so
the
did
big
I.
board.
Yeah, I made
and-
a big board of 4 teams, so I was, and none of my top teams ever been taken yet. So this has been kind of nice for me. But I kind of had a feeling if I was going to be behind action, I kind of knew he was going to take number 1, so I knew I was going to kind of get who I wanted my 1-1 to be. But all right, well that'll do it for our 4-unit plays. Let's go into our 3-unit plays. And Action, you will start that off in round 3.
okay, this is my team total pick, and I'm going to go the Utah Utes over the 26.5.
Ooh,
A good friend of mine, Noah in Florida, tells me that his comment about he lives in Florida, big Gator fan, but he said that Gator defense couldn't stop me running to Dairy Queen. So he thinks Utah is going to run all over him, and I believe him. So I'm going to play the Utes over the 26.5. That's all I need to give you.
I didn't have that on my list, but I love that play.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
that's a great pick.
Yep. So
Thank you, Noah in Florida.
And what's the juice on that play there, Action?
I got it right at I believe we're at a 110.
Okay, nice.
Like that.
That's good. All right. Sounds good. So I'm up. I'm going to go with a first half total just to start off in the 3rd round. I really like this first half total. I'm taking, again, going in the weeds a little bit, I'm taking Army, Louisiana Monroe, first half under 24.5. Army loves playing the game slow, playing at their own tempo. I've talked about the triple option several times before. You can prepare for it all off season you want. Once you play it, it's way, way more difficult in the first half. Preparing for it, pretty much the first half under in any Army game is pretty much cash money. Louisiana Monroe, they have a pretty much brand new offense lined up this year. They have a transfer QB or a backup QB, excuse me, that's going to be starting week 1. It's going to be no easy task going up against Army and scoring points. And Army just doesn't score points in general, pretty much. So I like that a lot. I'm taking Army, Louisiana Monroe, first half under 24.5. I can get that at minus 115 on Bet365. So that is where I'm going to go there. And Thomas, you are on the clock now for your 3-unit play.
Okay, I'm going full game total USC Nevada. I have a 67.5. Is that what it is?
Okay.
I'm going under. I think USC they have a game under their belt. They sucked on defense. We all saw that. Nevada's terrible offense. They were terrible last year. I don't think they got any better. Just kind of looking at the guys they picked up or recruited or the guys they got starting. Not a ton of guys returning, but I mean they were terrible on offense anyway. I don't think they're really gonna score a lot, even though USC's defense looked shaky last week. They already got a game. So I think that the new rule with the clock running on first downs until you get inside 2 minutes of the half or the end of the game, I think that's a huge number. And so I really like the under USC versus Nevada.
Okay. Sounds good. The only comment I would say about that is USC gave up 28 to San Jose State. But San Jose State's, in your defense, is a way better offense than Nevada. Way, way better offense than Nevada.
Yeah.
All right. And Beast, you will round out the 3rd round here with your play. Looks like you got an over-under and a spread.
I got a team total, and then oh, you're saying what I've already taken,
Right? Yes. Yep.
So I'm gonna go team total here with my 3-unit play. I'm gonna take the Tennessee Vols over 41.5 against Virginia.
Yep.
It's gonna be minus 115 on points bet. I know there's a little bit of juice there, but not and it sounds like a ton of points, but Virginia stinks in my opinion. And we got Joe Milton, DeGod, and we're just going to go 4 of the top 5 receiving options, or 3 of the top 4, I should say. I'm just getting off my numbers here. 3 of the top 4 receiving options back for that team. And then you got 2 legit running backs, Jabari Small and Jalen Wright, both guys over 700 yards last year. We love this Tennessee offense, and I think they come out week 1 and they want to show, hey, We're going to hang around in the SEC. We're going to put up some points. And even if that game starts turning into, you know what, some of the backups coming in, that rushing attack is so good. I think they can mow them down, put up 45 plus. So 41.5 is a great look to me.
Should have taken that. That was my first pick on my big board that actually got taken of a category I didn't have. That was my my top one. So that's tough. And I don't know if Action or Thomas, if you had that, but I absolutely had that and was hoping to take that in round 4.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, I like Tennessee team total. I like Tennessee Virginia over as well. 56, I think it is. Yeah, I like it. Great pick.
Virginia also could very well be one of the worst teams in Power 5. So yeah, and against the Tennessee offense week 1, I love that pick, Beast, and I'm so mad that you took it from me because that was one I was really hoping to get. But anyways, we move on and we bounce back. That's what we do here at the Kota Sports Gambling Network. We're going to go on to round 4, 2-unit plays. And Beast, you need a first half and you need a
money line.
And a money line. Yep.
So I'm going to take my first half here. And this was a play that it grosses me out. So I'll make some kind of clarifications, but I'm going to take Colorado first half plus 11.5 at TCU. And it grosses me out because I want to be very saying I don't love Colorado and the Buffs. I think there's some overhype potentially with Deion Sanders. But with that said, this offense is going to have multiple studs. I mean, we love Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter coming in, supposed to be like the guy. I just think this is going to be a fast offense more than anything. And if nothing else, I think Deion's team can kind of hang around for 2 or 3 quarters here. But I do think TCU runs away in the end. But for a first half play to get 11.5 points, I think we keep it within 10. That's all I need. Just keep it within 10. We're not really betting on the defense of that Colorado team. We're betting on that offense. So I'm going to take 11.5 in that first half.
What's the juice on that then there, Beast?
The first half, I want to say it was minus 110.
Okay.
So yeah. Yep.
Most are, unless like it's so heavy public that they have to change the line more often than not. If you get it early enough, that's what you get it at. But
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Thomas, looks like you need a team total and you need a first half.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go team total Akron under 22.5 points at Temple. It's minus 120 in DraftKings. Temple had some high scoring games last year. Had some defensive troubles, but I believe their head coach comes from a defensive background. Akron's pretty stinky. I mean, that's really all I got to say about that. I mean, I don't see him scoring 23 points. So under 22.5.
Okay. Nope, that and they stunk last year and they returned nobody and they didn't pick up nobody. So yeah, they're gonna be bad again this year. They're probably the worst team in the MAC, in my opinion. So
One of the worst for sure. Yeah.
Nope, good pick. All right, so it's gonna go to me now. I'm going to go with my spread pick here because Beast took my team total, so I'm not as confident about my team total. So I'm going to go to my spread, and I'm going to take Washington State minus 12.5 against Colorado State. Cougars are being very, very overlooked this year, but they're going to be okay, I think. Obviously, you know, the Pac-12 has so many talented teams that people are looking past Washington State. They're going to be fine. You know, Beast is really big on this guy, Cameron Ward. Very, very solid last year. You know, he transferred from Incarnate Word. Last year, he had 3,200 yards and 23 TDs. They have a brand new wide receiver core come in and help them out and improve that number. So I like them a lot this year. Colorado State struggled last year. Once again, like I said about many other teams, they didn't improve in the offseason. They didn't use the transfer portal as well. I think they're going to struggle, and I think Washington State can beat them by 14. A football number, 13 is all I need them to win by. So I like that a lot. Again, got that on Better Edge at plus 100. So I'm getting some units back for it, which is very nice. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go. Washington State minus 12.5 against Colorado State is the route I'm going to go, which leads me to action to round out the fourth round. It looks like you need a first half total and an over-under.
Sounds good. So clarification, my total points bet on Utah is a -121, just for your housekeeping there. For my pick here, I am going to go Minnesota, Nebraska, first half under 21.5. The Gophers, fourth best defense in college football last year, allowed 13.8 points per game. Nebraska, we know, new coach, new system, new quarterback, could take a little while to get going. Meanwhile, the Huskers have 8 guys back on defense. Minnesota has no Tanner Morgan at quarterback, no more Mo at running back. I think the Gophers may take about 30 minutes to get cooking. They'll get cooking in the second half. But first half, I could see it being ugly, sloppy, a slobber knocker. So I like the under 21.5.
All right. Sounds good. Going double plays on the Minnesota-Nebraska game. I couldn't tell why you do that by your shirt or anything like that, but... Yeah,
I want a little action where I'm going to have a lot of rooting interest. So, and then my final pick, this one, I got lost along the shuffle. I think you guys took a couple of mine. So for a game over under, I'm going to throw out something that just intriguing. And from a gambling perspective, it's always interesting to see reaction, overreaction to news. I'm actually going to play the Miami Hurricanes and Miami of Ohio under the 45.5 for the game. I believe it was on Sunday. Some word broke that the quarterback for Miami, Van Dyke, was 50-50 to play. Then Mario Cristobal comes out on Monday and said he's 100%. He hasn't missed a practice. And I think it's just a great reminder that, a lot of us really don't know what's going on, right? And if you hear the news on Sunday that it's 50-50, you're running to the pay window. I mean, you're running to place the bet right away on Miami of Ohio, potentially the under, team total under. Then on Monday, the coach comes back and basically says everything's false. What's the reality? We'll find out Friday night. Does he have a bad thumb? Does he not have a bad thumb? But the other factors why I like an under here, Miami, a good defense to begin, Miami of Ohio, a good defense to begin with, above average back defense. Their offense is not very good. And then you have the look ahead for the Hurricanes. They have Texas A&M next week. So they're not going to try to put up style points this week to begin with. So that's why I like the under 45.5.
Okay. No, I like that. Again, a little into the weeds there. Your Minnesota first half under, what was the juice on that?
Let's see. That one was a -118.
Okay. Very good. Just for my housekeeping here. Okay. Nope, that's a good card there, action. We'll kind of walk through everybody's whenever we're done here. I need a team total, and I'm actually going to kind of go in a way opposite of Thomas. I think USC's defense stinks, and I think that they couldn't stop me playing quarterback. So I'm taking Nevada team total over 13.5 against USC. I can get that at -130 on Bet365. USC proved they couldn't stop anybody, and they proved it again by allowing 28 points against San Jose State. Alex Grinch is an absolute joke of a DC. How that man has a job is beyond me. I know he had a couple good years at Ohio State, but I mean, he's done nothing to prove that he can be a good defensive coordinator. And every single year, what's been, since Lincoln Riley's been coaching, what's been the shortfall of those teams? Their defense. And why has that been the shortfall? Alex Grinch is the DC. So I think, I know Nevada, they might stink, and I know Thomas talked about how they might stink, but I think against a USC team, you can have a stinky offense, and you're still going to put up at least 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to take, and just for a unit, I can live with that. So I'm taking USC team total over 13.5. Mm-hmm. That is where I'm going to go there.
I have USC stopping you at -500. So.
I think I took me a second to think about what you were getting at there, but I don't know. I think I can get a yard on him.
Okay. Over.
What about me, Thomas? What's my odds against USC's D?
Oh, you'd put up 175 passing and 48 rushing for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
There you go. We got some athletes on this panel here. I'll say
we do. Imagine a triple option with action at the QB and me at the running back. I mean, me and action be putting up numbers with running that option.
Yeah.
I think we could do better than Navy last week.
Yeah. Don't take much, but yeah. All right, Thomas, looks like you need a
First half.
first half. Yep, sorry. Yep, first
All
half.
right. I'm going Rice at Texas over 31.5. Rice has got JT Daniels. They got former Nebraska legend. It's Luke McCaffrey.
Luke McCaffrey, yeah.
They got some talent. I was reading that they're kind of revamped their offense. Maybe they got a new OC. It's gonna be kind of like a high scoring offense. We'll see. Texas obviously is gonna put up points. So over 31.5. It's minus 110.
Minus 110. Okay. Sounds good. Nope, that's a good card as well. Thomas and Beast with the Mr. Irrelevant pick. Where are you going?
I tell you what, this pick's not going to be irrelevant. So buckle up, boys. We're taking Friday night, last game of the night. We're going Hawaii plus 159 against Stanford. We're going to Honolulu for this game. We love the Rainbow Warriors on Friday night. You got to have a play on the last game of the night. And we're taking the Rainbow Warriors as 8-point underdogs entering, last week's game. And then that spread has moved after they played really well against Vanderbilt, if we're being honest. Braden Schrager, their quarterback, looked pretty decent last week, threw for 350. I was impressed. Obviously, like I said, that spread's moved a ton, so I'm not getting the best number. We're still getting plus 159. I'm pumped up about getting that. You're facing a Stanford team that only won 3 games last year. One of them was against Colgate, which is pretty much a toothpaste brand at this point. I barely know anything about that school. And we love Hawaii in this game. Stanford, although they only won 3 games last year, that was with Tanner McKee at quarterback. They're starting this new quarterback named Ari Patu. Guy's name sounds like a sneeze. I don't know anything about him. We're going to take Hawaii plus 159 on the money line. 1 unit, drop it down, get you some Friday night, 11 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock money, man.
I missed the Beast references about various players and teams and stuff like that. Oh man, that had me cackling over here. I don't know if you guys noticed that. All right, gentlemen. Well, for a first time, I'm pretty happy with how the snake draft turned out. Obviously, there's gonna be a little more strategy involved when we get 5 people with 4. I think you guys know this. The more people in a snake draft, the better. Once we get 5 people involved, it's gonna be a lot more strategic and we'll go on a lot more and so on and so forth. So really quick, let's just go through everybody's cards really quick. And yeah, maybe I'll just ask like what your overall thoughts are about the card. But action, you got Minnesota money line minus 265 for 5 units, UTSA minus 1 for 4 units, Utah team total over 226.5 minus 121 for 3 units. Minnesota, Nebraska, first half under 24.5 for minus 118 for 2 units. And then Miami, Florida, Miami, Ohio, under 45.5 for 1 unit. Overall, how you feeling about your card?
Only regret is I didn't get Iowa over 34.5 points on there because the Hawkeye coaching staff has motivation to score. That was the only play that I wanted on there, but I just couldn't fit it in because no one took Utah before me.
I think Thomas and I, as Hawkeye fans, can tell you that you were smart by picking Utah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I know we got McNamara, and people were saying, well, you got McNamara, he's better than Petrus. I'm better than Petrus.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll give you that one.
I may not be able to put up a yard against USC, but gosh darn, I'm a better QB than Petrus.
Yeah.
I believe you too.
My card, I got UTSA money line plus 100 for 5 units. I got Old Dominion, Virginia Tech under 50 for 4 units. Army, Louisiana Monroe. Oh man, I'm struggling to talk or read my handwriting. Minus 115. Washington State minus 12.5 for 2, and Nevada team total over 13.5 for 1. Like my card, almost all my plays except my team total were the top of my list, so I'm really excited for it. Thomas, your card, Tulane money line -245 for 5 units, Rutgers -7 for 4, USC Nevada under 67.5 for 3, Akron team total under 22.5 at -120 for 2, and Rice at Texas first half over 31.5 -110 for 1. What are your thoughts about your card?
Sounds like 15 units. To me, they're gonna win week 1. So good luck, guys.
All right. Sounds good. And Beast, your card. You got Purdue, Fresno State under 51.5 for 5 units. South Carolina +2.5 for 4. Tennessee team total over 41.5 at -115 for 3. Colorado first half +11.5 at -110 for 2. And Hawaii money line at +159 for 1. What are your thoughts about your card?
Tell you what, man, we love all the plays, but especially my favorite, which is funny because it was my 1 unit play. We're taking Hawaii on Friday night, man. The boys are getting laid. I'm going to have to buy a couple lays, and wear them around on Friday night when we're in KC. That would be the most epic content. Maybe somebody can hook me up with some Hawaiian lays.
Yes, absolutely. That's gonna be a fun time. I'm looking forward to that. And we didn't mention this, but we have the potential of meeting an absolute legend down in Kansas City in Dallas Pritchard.
Ooh, that is very true. That's a great point. Dallas, he's the man, myth, the legend. So if we get a Dallas sighting, that would be epic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
You guys are
gentlemen,
making me jealous, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot you guys are gonna be in Kansas City. That 11 o'clock kickoff. Oof, man. By like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning when the game gets over. You guys are gonna be having a great time.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, with Hawaii win. I'm gonna tell that.
It's gonna be nice because Beast is a Michigan State fan and his team plays on Friday, so he'll be flying in while that's game going on, and then Oklahoma and Iowa both play at 11 o'clock. So after 11 o'clock, like we're just playing bets at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite teams are done at that point, so we'll be playing bets. But we're trying to find a way to get everybody at the network together at some point and to all hang out for a weekend and make bets. The problem is we got people everywhere. Action and Pace and Pumbaa are up in North Dakota. We got VFC's in Milwaukee. We got people in Indiana. Dan's in Hawaii. We got people in Kansas City, people in Iowa, people in Minnesota, people in South Dakota, just everywhere. We got people at the network. So it's really, really tough. And Beast in Michigan, it's just tough to get everyone together, but we are going to make that happen at some point. We're going to try our best, but yeah. All right. Enough chit chat. Let's go on to what people really want to hear. And that is the upset of the week and lock of the week contest. We'll start with upset of the week. So again, this is a flagship contest that we've been doing since season 1. Upset of the week, how that works is you got to find an underdog of at least 7 points. And you got to take that underdog. That underdog has to win outright for you to get a point. Is how the upset of the week contest works. So really quick, I know some of these guys aren't on the panel anymore, but we'll go through our standings for last year just to kind of recap it. Faye JT was the winner last year. He picked 7 underdogs and won. So congratulations to Faye JT. Pace and DG came very close to him with 6 upsets picked, as well as Beast, now that I look at it. So those guys were tied for second. Dan and Corey finished tied for 5th with 5 upsets picked. DJ Thomas and myself were tied for 8th with 4 upsets picked. And Soup finished last by only picking 2 upsets last year. What a freaking idiot that man is. I can talk crap about him because he can't even defend himself. That's the nice thing. And I love Soup dearly, and he knows that. But gentlemen, let's go through our upsets of the week. I'm going to throw this out there right off the bat. I think you guys were expecting it, but since Corey is a full-time panelist, he just wasn't here this week. He did send me an upset in the lock. I don't think anybody's surprised by it, but Action, he wanted to say that Sky Uma is no more. Nebraska money line is his upset of the week.
I was expecting that. We'll talk trash probably Thursday about 10 o'clock.
The group chat's going to be wild.
It's gonna be wild.
Action will start with you. What do you got for your upset of the week?
I'm actually going Toledo plus the 9.5 at Illinois. Brent Bielema's done a great job at Illinois, but the schedule makers did him no favors. He should be yelling at his athletic director right now. Illinois ranks 116th on the Phil Steele experience chart. They have a new QB. They need to replace the second leading rusher in program history. They lost some key talent on defense. Meanwhile, I love the Rockets. Toledo's got a good team. They averaged, 31 points a game last year. They have 8 starters coming back on offense, including the QB. Yeah, I think Toledo's going to give them a scare, and I think they might win it outright.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know if anybody was going that route, but I like it. I really do.
I like it too.
Beast, we'll go to you now. What do you got for your upset of the week?
I'm going to take 6 over Louisville. Jeff Brom, brand new coach over in Louisville. There's some real upset potential here, and Georgia Tech wasn't bad last year. So this is a 6-7 win team from last year. Georgia Tech, they're feisty. They seem to always be feisty. So we're gonna just take some early season weird things happen in week 1. Georgia Tech, I'm gonna take them.
And what was their spread then?
Spread was plus 7.5, plus 8.5. Yeah. It's over. I can pop that up for you, but yeah, it's over that 7 number that we're always looking for.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I just was, you cut out there for a second there, so I didn't know what you said the spread was, but okay, sounds good. Thomas, upset of the week, who do you got?
All right, I'm jumping out the window on this one. It's a big one. Plus 363 money line. I'm taking Duke plus 13.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
On Monday, it's a huge show for them. They're not going to be a bad team. I mean, I love Riley Leonard, Mike Elko. It's kind of that experience thing. Cade Klubnik, I know it's Beast pick for Heisman. But it's his first start, I think, or one of his first starts. I mean, it's so we got an experienced Duke team who's not a bad team. They're gonna be good. It's a big showcase for them. I think it can happen. Duke plus 363 beats Clemson.
Wow. Okay. Thomas going out swinging. I like it.
You got to take some risks sometimes, so I respect it.
Thank you.
To wrap up the upset of the week, I'm actually going to go with a play that hasn't been said yet by anybody on any of the plays. I'm taking Northern Illinois over Boston College. Northern Illinois is getting plus 9.5 here, and I don't get it. I'm not big on Boston College. In fact, I'd go on record of saying they might be one of the worst teams in the country this year. I think they are very, very poor. They don't return anybody this year. And Northern Illinois, they're getting a lot of hate going in this year. Rocky Lombardi's back, baby. Rocky Lombardi's back. That man is an absolute legend. That man is going to make Boston College in trouble. And in Rocky we trust, and in BC we fade. I'm taking Northern Illinois over Boston College.
I respect it. Hey, does anybody remember when Rocky Lombardi beat Jim Harbaugh in the Michigan Wolverines when they were like 23-point favorites? Because I do. I remember that.
People forget, though.
People forget.
Yeah, people do. I mean, that was COVID year, so apparently to Michigan fans, it doesn't count.
Yeah. I think Iowa beat Michigan State that year, like 50-something to 0 or something.
Yeah, I mean, like certain things I remember, other things I forget.
Yeah. Rocky, yeah. He's a good guy. He's a good quarterback, solid quarterback. Not a Big Ten quarterback, but yeah, he's good at Northern Illinois for sure. Yeah.
Yep, and Rocky we trust, and
very, very fair.
But all right, gentlemen. Well, that was good. Upsets of the week. Let's transition now to lock of the week. Lock of the week. To round it out, very, very simple. Just about the easiest contest we have. The lock hits, you get a point. Lock doesn't hit, you don't. About as simple as it gets. Standings from last year. Last year, we actually had a tie going into the national championship game between Dan and Pace. So they did a lock off between the two of them, decided a winner. Dan had the over in the national championship game, which cashed thanks to Georgia. So Dan was the lock of the week champ last year with a 12-6 record. Pace followed in second with an 11-7 record. Myself and VFC tied for third with a 9-7-1 record. Coming in fifth was Corey, Thomas, and JT with an 8-9 record. DJ came in eighth with an 8-10 record. Beast came in ninth with a 6-11 record. It doesn't matter to him, though. He won the contest that matters, so that's all he really cares about. DG came in 10th with a 4-10 record, and Soup once again finished last with a 4-12 record for the lock of the week. So hoping to be better on our locks of the week this year than last year, but we'll see. But Thomas, we'll start with you this time. What do you have for your lock of the week?
Yeah, my lock of the week, I'm gonna take Utah -7 versus Florida. Action Junkie made a lot of good points. I'm also on that team total over. I really think I might even do, like, if it comes up an alternate line. I don't know why it's only 7. Florida is, I don't think they're that great. It's similar to what we said last year when Utah going into the swamp, they weren't ready for those weather conditions. Same thing. I mean, Utah's got a little bit of elevation. Florida has no idea what to do with that. Their best players playing for the Colts now, from last year, and I just don't think they're good. I don't think they're good. I think it's going to be like 45-10, 45-17, something like that.
Okay. I like it. Sounds good. Quick Thursday night action for you there, Thomas. Beast, we'll go to you now. What is your lock of the week this week?
This is a play I already highlighted a little bit. Obviously, it was my 5 unit, so I'm gonna keep it with my lock of the week, and that's Purdue Fresno State under 51.5. Highlighted all my bullet points really there with how much both Purdue and Fresno State lost. So I think we're gonna get a little bit of a classic Big Ten ugly dog fight type thing out of Purdue in that game.
Okay. Sounds good. Action will go to you now. What do you got for your lock of the week?
I don't know what to do. I'm going to go head to head here against Beast, I guess. I'm going to go North Carolina. I'll just do it. -2.5. I was going to go UTSA or Utah, but I know I'm going into his 4-star play, and I feel like I'm already going to get relegated after one episode. So I'm just going to go for it. Let's go North Carolina.
Okay. Sounds good. To wrap it up, I'm also going to go with the play I already highlighted here. But it's going to be my 4-unit play that I like just a wee bit more than my 5-unit. I kind of took my 5-unit because I'm getting plus 100 here. I'm taking Old Dominion, Virginia Tech under 50.5. Again, these two teams are terrible. They're not returning hardly anybody on offense, and defense is going to be bad. I don't see them scoring over 50. And as I stated, I don't see them scoring over 30 in this game. I think this is going to be an incredibly low scoring game that's going to fly under. I'm taking the under 50 in Old Dominion, Virginia Tech. Corey, once again, is not here, but he is taking Iowa, Utah State under 47 as his lock of the week, or 45, whatever the number is, but that's going to be his lock of the week. But all right. That's gonna do it for this episode. It was fun as always. We'll be having a little trash talk, I'm sure. We wanted to figure out a friendly bet between Action and Corey for the next show. If like one team wins, what the other one has to do. We might have to figure that out in the group chat or something.
Yeah, no problem, Kyle. I'll send you a copy of the Minnesota Rouser so you can get it to him, and he has a week to practice.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Anybody got any final thoughts before we go on? Beast, I'm excited to meet you this weekend and see you in person for the first time with PG. Yeah, that's all I really got. Anybody got any other final thoughts?
I got one question for the group here. We didn't touch the biggest game of the weekend, so we're all scared of it. Who's everyone picking between LSU and Florida State? Kyle, I know you're going Florida State. I want to know what everyone else is doing.
For me, it's one of those games that I think Florida State is better than LSU. But for whatever reason, I see LSU maybe pulling something a little funky in this game. And I could see LSU winning this game, but Florida State finishing with the better record. And Florida State maybe making more noise as the season goes on. But you're right, Action. This is such a polarizing game. Whoever picks it right will feel like, man, I am so genius and I know college football. And whoever picks it wrong is going to be like, man, yeah. So it's going to be a fun game. We will be locked in on that game, Kansas City for sure. That's been the game we've been talking about kind of the most for the weekend. Like you said, it's going to be your best game. And we've already been making plans. Like, we've got to make sure we're somewhere good watching that game.
Yeah.
Yep. Thomas,
I think last year's game was at the Sugar Bowl. Where's it at this year? The same place?
Orlando.
Florida State, I mean, they went into Louisiana last year. I think Florida State's a better team too, just like B said. LSU though, I mean, but yeah, I'll lean Florida State on it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they win this game, they go to the playoff. If they don't, they beat Clemson twice, maybe they still get in. But I mean, it's a really, really huge game for week 1. It's gonna be interesting.
I was just curious on your takes. I think it should be a great football game, and I hope you guys enjoy it in KC with some barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that the other thing that excites me about this is I think in past years we may not get we'll get good matchups, but you're getting 2 top 5 teams in this matchup. And on Sunday night of Labor Day, I mean, you just can't beat it. So I'm really happy that this game was scheduled this way. It may have just happened that both teams ended up being this good, but I'm really glad it worked out this way, because that's going to be prime time. Everybody, you're not other college football games really, kind of drowning out what you're watching. You're going to be locked in on that game for sure.
What are you going with, Action, on that game?
I'm LSU, not by a lot. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it'll come down to the final possession. More than likely, either a defensive stop or somebody scores. But yeah, I'm leaning towards LSU. I always like that revenge type angle. And to be honest, Florida State could have a little bit of a distraction with the Hurricane a little bit closer to them. So I don't know if their practice week has been impacted, coaching staff, families, houses, all that stuff. You never know. Distractions can happen even a big game week.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thomas, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I'm ready for it to all start. Week 0 was a nice little appetizer, but I'm ready for the meat and potatoes.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And I'm looking forward to kind of getting in the middle of the season as well. I don't know about you guys. It was tough kind of using spreads here because and this is just a tip for anybody that bets. Anytime an FBS plays an FCS, more often than not, the line doesn't come out until like the day of the game, just because they don't have enough knowledge about the FCS. And there's a lot of FBS versus FCS games this week. And there usually is like the first couple of weeks of the season. So I'm just ready to get kind of into the conference games and stuff like that. So, but yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it for episode 2 of the Kota College Football Central show. Tune in next week when we have 5 panelists next time, and we will do another snake draft, and we will talk about week 1 as a whole. See you, fellas.
Bye.